Imagine leaving your country, your home, your family, and your friends to pursue a new life abroad, only to find out when you get there that the job you thought was for you no longer exists. Yep, that was me, people. True story. It left me so anxious, it left me so scared, wondering if I had made the right decision. But what happened next showed me that God's hand was in it the entire time. So when I arrived in Thailand, everything was set up. I already had my position at the school and everything was just going so well. Until I arrived and almost at the end of my orientation week in Hua Hin, then the school decided to contact me to let me know that they have decided to put the position on hold. And just like that, people, I went from being so excited with endless opportunities to being jobless in a new country so far away from home. Like, imagine. The agency assured me that they would help me to get a school as soon as possible. I don't need to stress or panic because they're guaranteed to find me a school. And I went from being super excited to super anxious and stressed. Luckily, I was not alone. My roommate and I and another girl from America, we were the only 3 people out of our group who had not yet found placements at a school. So what we decided to do is that we would stay together because our time in Hua Hin had come to an end. So we decided to go closer to Bangkok, to a province called Pathum Thani. And we stayed there in a hotel for a few days, watching Netflix, binging, eating, just trying to get our minds off of when are we gonna get a new school. Honestly, it was so anxiety producing. Like, I was trying my best to stay calm, to not panic, and to just trust the process, because what else could I do in a situation like that? On the outside, I managed to stay pretty calm, but on the inside, bestie, I was panicking. I was freaking out. I was like, God, like, I thought you and I spoke. I thought we had a conversation. Like, I thought your hand was upon this. What is going on? Did I make the wrong decision by leaving South Africa? Maybe I wasn't supposed to stay. Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. Like, the thought of having to go back home because I actually don't have a job anymore here. So why would I stay in this country, you know? I was having an uphill battle inside. Okay, so this happened on Thursday. Orientation week ended on the Friday, and I will put the timeline of the dates. So by Tuesday, this is a few days later, we are at the hotel with the girls, and the girls have already gotten offers for their new schools. And then there was me. I was just there waiting for when is it gonna be my turn, because Sana, I did not come all the way here to not have a job, you know? And like, I was also really starting to worry about the financial aspect of it all. So obviously they were preparing, they were packing, getting ready to move closer to their placements. And I was just there waiting, like, what the hell am I gonna do? So one of the girls said I could come with her and, you know, kind of wait with her while they try find me a placement. And I was just so grateful. She was honestly such an angel sent from heaven. And honestly, we developed a friendship over that week because we were in the trenches together, and there's just something about going through this type of situation in a new country, far away from home, from your support system, where you guys just lean on each other for support. And man, I'm so grateful because she really held me down. And honestly, if it wasn't for her, I don't know how I would have gotten through those few days. Honestly, it just kind of started feeling like the story of my life playing out all over again, where I'm the last person to get things, I'm the last person, you know, to receive my blessing. And that's how I felt for a pretty long time in my life, especially from, varsity. I struggled to get into varsity, but I did. Even though I was late, I made it. So finishing up my degree at NWU and wanting to do my postgraduate diploma at the Wits Business School, that was also a struggle on its own, but I made it into the program and they were taking only a select number of people. So I was literally the last person that they accepted, and that was already like maybe a week into class having started already. The job, I finished my diploma at the business school, and then I had to get a job, and even that was tough, but I got it. But it just kind of felt like I always have to struggle to get something. But you know what, God is so faithful, because in the end it somehow always works out. And during this time when I was just waiting for my placement, I was just telling myself, God, I've seen this pattern in my life before, and I know that it ends out really, really amazing. So like, God, I need you to do amazing things for me right now. I need the school that I'm going to get to be better than the one I even thought I was going to go to. I need this to be like, exceedingly abundantly above all I could ask or think. Of course, I was very frustrated because everything was set, and then you get here and things change. And I think honestly, that's just life. Like, you have a plan, and sometimes things don't always go the way you plan. But I just thought of Isaiah, the scripture that says, those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, they shall mount high and fly like eagles. So I said, see ya, Papa. Yeah, see ya, Papa. I was just hyping myself up with just little things, just trying not to get into a rut and allowing myself to fall prone to, being sad and going down the whole depression line, because I've been there, and I was trying not to get into that very dark tunnel and that very dark space, and believing that I'm already here, so things are gonna work out. We're gonna have to make it work, come hell or high water, baby. And then the breakthrough came, bestie, on the 1st of August 2025. So the agency calls me, they're like, hey girl, like, do you still want to work? Do you still want to school? Ma'am, like, that's not even a question. Of course, yes, I want to work. I want to school. So they were like, okay, cool. We've been sending out your profile, so let's see which schools reach out. On the same day, she messages me back and says, hey, there's a school that saw your profile and they want to interview you as soon as possible in the next few hours. Are you available? Of course I'm available. I have nothing else to do. Let's do it. So I prepare for the school. She sends me the information. I prepare a demo lesson, and the interview was quite intense. It was a lot. The school director was really like pushing me in terms of wanting to get real answers and real responses from me, and not those typical answers that people give when they're trying to get a job. And I respected him for that, and he really wanted somebody who's going to be devoted to the job and understand what the job comes with, because it's not an easy job working with kindergarten children. And so I did the best that I can, and I think they were satisfied with my response. I did the demo lesson. They said they were really happy with it and loved the energy that I brought, and feel like the kids would connect with me. And so at the end I was like, okay, when am I gonna get a response? They're like, oh, next week. In my mind I'm like, sweetie, not next week. I need impendulo namhlanje, because andinamsebenzi, imali yami iyaphela, amarandi awalasti. Yho, uyandistressa bhuti, ndicela impendulo. Oh Lord, I was like I cannot wait a second more, but anyways, I took it and I said, okay, thank you so much for interviewing me. And they said thank you, even though it was short notice. And so I think an hour or two later, I messaged my agent. I'm like, girl, what's up? What did they say? Like, did they like me? She's like, congratulations! You got the offer! You guys, like, I thought I would cry, but I didn't. I was just so numb in the moment, but there was also such a relief of just don't have the words even thinking about it today. It just makes me so emotional, because I'm like, man, God said one thing about my life, I will not take any credit for it at all. God said, I will get the glory out of this. Okay? In one day, people, in less than 24 hours. Bam, bam, bam. So obviously I'd been keeping in touch with my mom, my sister, and some family members just to let them know what was happening. And my sister was so relieved. She screamed. Actually, she was so excited for me, and she was telling me how she was fasting, and she was like, she's not gonna eat until she hears a response from me saying I got the job. So literally as I called her, she's like, yo, I was thinking about you, I was praying for you. And I'm like, girl, it's over, the struggle is over. Woo! Ha! Kaze ngalingwa. Usathane waze wangilinga in a new country. Ha! Hayi bandla. Angifuna ungasho ukuthi bekine-stress. And my sister reminded me that mina ngizohlezi ngiguqile. I will always be on my knees, just praying to God, because I think that's where God wants me. He wants me in close relationship with him. And I think sometimes when you get everything that you want all at once, I think sometimes it is hard to even consider or even think about God or be grateful for him. And it's when you go through really tough times where you're like, damn, God, like you really held me down. I don't know if I could have done it without you. And so that's why just this whole journey of coming here, I just think of the goodness of God and how he makes everything beautiful in its time. Because trust me when I say it has been beautiful. Oh man, it's been more than I thought it would be. Overall, this experience has taught me something so important that I think I've known, but being in this moment in a new country really cemented that delay is not denial. You may feel like you've been waiting forever, you're always the last person in line, but trust me when I say God moves, and he can move quickly and suddenly. In one single day, my situation flipped completely to having no job, no direction, and honestly no certainty, to an open door, a new beginning, and a new home in my new city, Udon Thani. I am living in my answered prayers. Like when I arrived at my new school, I knew this is where I'm supposed to be. These are the colleagues I'm supposed to be working with because they are amazing human beings. And we spend so much time together. We go out on weekends. Honestly, these are the things that I had been praying for. I wanted to find a community. When I arrived, one of the parents actually connected me to a Christian church. So I've already found a church, I found community, I found colleagues, but not just colleagues, I found friends. I love the environment. I love that it's a creative school using the creative curriculum. Honestly, like I think this was probably one of the best things that could ever have happened to me, because I was definitely not supposed to go to the first school that had accepted me. Honestly, I just hope that this encourages you to know that things can change. And if you're currently in your waiting season and you believe in God for big things, whatever that may be, continue. Do not give up hope. Do not give up faith, because surely you will reap a harvest if you don't give up. So you have to be persistent in your faith, persistent in everything that you do. Like keep pushing whatever it is, do your part, and then God will do his part. My besties, if the story encouraged you, please share it with a friend or anyone you think needs a bit of upliftment. I think it is really hard when we see the highlights of people's lives, but we don't see the journey that got them there. And I really thought it would be beneficial to share the story, to say, you know, sometimes we see the glitz and the glam, but there was some tearing in between, you know, to get to that point. And so I think it's important to also show the process. And again, just to clarify, it was nothing on the agency side. It was more so the school deciding that, you know, they're putting the position on hold. But shout out to my agency. They did such an amazing job, and I'm super grateful. You know, they still kept in touch with us, checking in and just making sure that we set. When I got here, I stayed in a hotel for I think 2 or 3 days. The agency helped me to find my apartment that I'm in, and they connected me to teachers who are also living in this building as well, so that we can carpool together. So honestly, like, everything really worked out for the good, and I'm so happy. I love living here. I love my life here, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you for watching, my besties. If you want to see more Thailand life and just what I get up to, then please do subscribe and let me know what other videos you would like me to produce for you guys in this new chapter of my life in this beautiful country. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye, my besties.